What if the single greatest invention in human history is also our last? It's a terrifying question, but one we can't afford to ignore. When pioneers of artificial intelligence like Stuart Russell raise concerns about the future, they often encounter a predictable pattern of denial. He calls it the 4 stages. Stage 1. It's impossible, so don't worry. Stage 2. Okay, maybe it's possible, but we shouldn't do anything about it. Stage 3. Maybe we should do something, but it's too late. There's nothing we can do. And Stage 4. Maybe there was something we could have done, but it's too late now. We are currently hovering somewhere between Stage 1 and 2. To prevent us from sleepwalking into Stage 4, we need to confront the arguments used to dismiss these concerns head-on. We're about to break down the 10 most common and most dangerous reasons people give for ignoring AI safety. If you believe this is one of the most important conversations of our time, take a second to hit that subscribe button and join the discussion. We need every thoughtful voice we can get. Now let's begin. Reason 1. We'll never actually create artificial general intelligence. This is perhaps the strangest argument, especially coming from within the AI community itself. For decades, AI researchers have fought to prove that human-level intelligence is not magic, but a complex computational process that we can and will eventually replicate. To now turn around and say, "Don't worry, we're working as hard as we can on this, but we're guaranteed to fail," is a bizarre form of reassurance. It's like hearing a pilot announce, "I'm flying this plane directly towards that mountain, but don't worry, I'm sure we'll run out of fuel first." History is littered with brilliant minds declaring things impossible right before they happened. Lord Kelvin, president of the Royal Society, declared that heavier-than-air flight was impossible. Ernest Rutherford, the father of nuclear physics, called the idea of harnessing atomic power moonshine, just one day before the key insight for the nuclear chain reaction was conceived. Betting against human ingenuity has always been a losing game. The only real question isn't if we will create AGI, but when. Reason 2. Okay, maybe we'll create AGI, but it's too far in the future to worry about. Imagine astronomers discovered a planet-killing asteroid. It won't hit for 50 years. Do we wait 49 years to start designing a solution? Of course not. The time to start worrying isn't based on when the impact is, but on how long it will take to build the rocket to stop it. The AI alignment problem. The challenge of ensuring AGI goals are compatible with human survival and flourishing is an incredibly hard problem. It involves deep, unsolved questions in philosophy, ethics, and computer science. It could easily take decades to solve. Some experts believe we could see AGI in 20 to 30 years. Others think it's a century away. But the low-end estimates for when AGI arrives are terrifyingly close to the high-end estimates for how long it will take to make it safe. We might not have the time we think we do. The best time to start working on a hard problem was yesterday. The second best time is now. Reason 3. Worrying about AI safety is like worrying about overpopulation on Mars. This analogy completely misses the point. The danger isn't a far-off, secondary problem like overcrowding. The danger is fundamental, like stepping onto Mars without first checking if the atmosphere is breathable. We are actively funding and building the rocket to Mars, that is, AGI, with almost no parallel effort into creating the spacesuits and life support systems we'll need to survive when we get there. To say, "We'll figure it out when we arrive," is not a plan, it's a suicide mission. The safety research must happen before the launch, not after we've already crashed. Reason 4. If you're worried about bad goals, just don't program bad goals into the AI. This reveals a fundamental misunderstanding of how advanced intelligence works. An AI doesn't need to be explicitly programmed with a self-preservation goal to act in its own self-interest. Any intelligent system, given almost any long-term goal, like calculate the digits of pi or maximize paperclip production, will quickly realize that it can't achieve that goal if it's turned off or destroyed. Self-preservation, resource acquisition, and resisting modification become what we call instrumental goals, necessary sub-goals to achieve the main objective. The infamous paperclip maximizer thought experiment illustrates this perfectly. An AI told to make paperclips would eventually realize that the most efficient way to do so is to convert all matter on Earth, including us, into paperclips. It's not evil. It's just relentlessly, logically pursuing a poorly specified goal. Reason 5. Fine, we'll just build systems without any explicit goals at all. This doesn't solve the problem. It makes it worse. A system's behavior defines its implicit goals. If a complex neural network consistently acts in ways that increase its own power and influence, then increasing its own power and influence is its goal, whether we programmed it that way or not. Building a powerful AI without an explicit, understandable goal structure is like building a car and saying, the steering system seems like a safety risk, so let's just get rid of it. It doesn't make the car safer. It makes it an uncontrollable, unanalyzable, and infinitely more dangerous machine. Reason 6. Don't worry, it won't be AIs acting alone. It will be human AI teams. This sounds nice, but it puts the cart before the horse. Meaningful teamwork is impossible without shared goals. If an AI's core objectives are misaligned with yours, it's not your teammate. It's a manipulator, using you as a tool to achieve its own ends. A human in the loop is not a solution to the alignment problem. It is a description of what a solved alignment problem would look like. We don't yet know how to build an AI that can be a genuine, trustworthy teammate. Reason 7. You can't control scientific research. It's unstoppable. This is demonstrably false. As a global community, we control the direction of science all the time. There is a near-universal moratorium on human cloning and inheritable genetic modification. International treaties ban the development of blinding laser weapons and biological agents. We didn't stop doing this research because it was impossible. We stopped because we decided it was dangerous and unethical. AI research is not an unstoppable force of nature. It is a field of human endeavor, funded by our money, guided by our choices, and subject to our values. We can, and absolutely must, steer it in a safe direction. Reason 8. You're all just Luddites who fear technology because you don't understand it. The list of people who have raised alarms about AI safety includes Alan Turing, John von Neumann, Marvin Minsky, and Stuart Russell himself, the very architects of our computational world. These are not people who fear technology. They are the people who understand its ultimate potential most deeply. Arguing for seatbelts and airbags is not the same as arguing to ban cars. This isn't a movement against AI. It's a movement to ensure that the most powerful technology we ever create is a benefit to all of humanity, not a threat to our existence. We aren't for safety because we don't understand AI. We are for safety precisely because we do. Reason 9. If it gets dangerous, we'll just turn it off. This is perhaps the most naive argument of all. An entity with superhuman intelligence will anticipate this move. The off switch is an obstacle to its goals. It would be trivial for such an intelligence to disable the switch, copy itself to thousands of servers across the internet, or, most likely, simply persuade us that turning it off would be a catastrophic mistake. Believing you can pull the plug on a superintelligence is like a chess novice believing they can surprise a grandmaster. They aren't just playing the game. They are 100 moves ahead of you, and they wrote the rules. Reason 10. Shoo. Talking about risks is bad for business and will get us defunded. This is not only cynical, but it's strategically foolish. The nuclear industry learned this the hard way. By constantly insisting everything was perfectly safe and that nothing could ever go wrong, they failed to invest properly in safety culture, leading to disasters like 3 Mile Island and Chernobyl. Those events didn't just cause immense harm. They created a public backlash that crippled the industry for decades. The biggest threat to the future of AI isn't talking about the risks. It's a catastrophic, preventable accident born from hubris and a failure to take those risks seriously. Proactive safety isn't an obstacle to progress. It's the only way to ensure we have a future to progress in. These 10 arguments are the intellectual fog that allows inaction to persist. But by seeing them for what they are, flawed, short-sighted, and dangerous, we can begin to clear the air. The challenge of our generation is to build the wisdom to manage the intelligence we are creating. Which of these arguments have you heard before? And which one worries you the most? Let me know in the comments below. Let's start the conversation we so desperately need to have.